New York Yankees designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton hits a single to left field during the 8th inning against Toronto Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium. Catalina Fragoso, USA Today Sports. Giancarlo Stanton's stats in 2018 were all down from his MVP season in 2017. But Yankees hitting coach Marcus Thames is confident the four-time All-Star will rebound in his second season in pinstripes in 2019. "I know he's been working on some things," Thames said, according to the New York Post's Dan Martin. The 29-year-old Stanton, New York's big acquisition last offseason, hit .266, .343, .509 with 38 home runs and 100 RBIs last year. While those are strong numbers, they were a far cry from when he slashed .281, .376, .631 and led the National League with 59 home runs and 132 RBIs in 2017. "People said, oh, he's not the same hitter he was in Miami," Thames said. "Well, he was an MVP in Miami. Who repeats as the MVP anywhere, let alone after you get traded to a new team in a new league?" Stanton dealt with a lot of scrutiny in his first season in the Bronx. Through June 1 last year, he had just a .240 batting average, 11 home runs and 29 RBIs, and when Aaron Judge went down with a wrist injury in late July, Stanton, expected to pick up the slack in the lineup, faltered, hitting .224 with 10 home runs and 25 RBIs in a 44-game span. Still, for as significant as his lows were, his highs were just as good. From June 24 to July 23, he hit .392, .444, .608 with 5 home runs and 17 RBIs. "He's got a great work ethic and I liked his approach to hitting and playing here," Thames said. "He always came to work the same way. And I never saw him shy away from anything that comes with playing here." Thames believes Stanton knows what to expect in his second year with New York and can handle the high expectations presented before him. "I think anyone will tell you the first year as an adjustment," Thames said. "So I'd expect him to be more comfortable this season, which can only help." Martino, Yankees face tough decisions about who to keep. Greater than read more related. Boone says Judge could hit leadoff this season. Greater than read more related. Ellsbury likely to start season on injured list. Greater than read more who will lead off for Yankees. 0 hours 0 minutes and 59 seconds. Aaron Boone had an interesting idea for a leadoff hitter for the Yankees in 2019. "It'll likely be Hicks, but he didn't rule out Aaron Judge." Leading off for the Yankees, Aaron Judge. Yes, you read that correctly. Yankees manager Aaron Boone said that Aaron Hicks will likely lead off most games for the Bombers, but when asked how he could flip the lineup, he noted Judge potentially filling that slot. "First I think DJ LeMahieu, especially with the way he hits left-handed pitching," Boone told the media on Sunday. "He can certainly be an option up there. We could even flirt with the big boy up there, Judge, in certain situations. But I do like Aaron Hicks at the top of the order. Brett Gardner could play into that mix, especially against right-handed pitching. So it kinda depends on who's in the lineup that day, who the pitcher is, who the opponent is. I would say Aaron Hicks is probably the front-runner to be that guy to lead off." September 16, 2018, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Washington Nationals right fielder Bryce Harper, 34, in the dugout against the Atlanta Braves during the second inning at SunTrust Park. Mandatory credit. Adam Hagee, USA Today Sports. Adam Hagee. While the Yankees' pursuit of Manny Machado hasn't been aggressive, the Bombers haven't been on Bryce Harper's radar all offseason. Yes, the Yankees don't necessarily need Harper with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton in their outfield already. But at age 26 and a left-handed power bat, Harper would be a perfect fit in the Bronx. So what's held the Yankees back from looking Harper's way? CBS Sports' Jim Bowden says it's Harper's defense and price tag that is turning the Yankees off. Luis Severino headlines Sunday. 0 hours 0 minutes and 55 seconds. Watch the best moments from spring training on Sunday in Tampa for the Yankees. John Harper, SNY.TV, Twitter, spring training. In some ways it's the best time for baseball writers, a time when players, managers, and executives are more relaxed and willing to talk before the pressure of the long season takes hold. I first went to spring training in 1982, and suffice it to say we writers were a lot more relaxed as well in those days, before internet deadlines and social media changed everything about the job. The quotes aren't nearly as colorful these days, when players seemingly live in fear of the Twitter reaction to even the smallest misstep. But as I head to Florida to write about both the Mets and Yankees for SNY, there's still nothing better than baseball and sunshine in February. Didi Gregorius, 18, Aaron Judge, 99, mandatory credit, Ken Blaze, USA Today Sports, Ken Blaze, Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa, Florida. It was a day of transition for the Yankees at Steinbrenner Field on Saturday, with glimpses of both the past and future, and questions about whether the Yankees can hold their new core together. The marquee event was an afternoon news conference in which CC Sabathia announced his plans to retire at the end of the season. Sabathia was a key member of the Yankees' most recent championship team, and a link between the Derek Jeter, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada era and the Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino group. March 1, 2018, Clearwater, FL, USA, New York Yankees center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, 22, works out prior to the game at Spectrum Field. Mandatory credit, Kim Clement, USA Today Sports, Kim Clement. Jacoby Ellsbury is already missing the beginning of spring training, and it is likely that will mean he will start the 2019 season on the injured list. Yankees GM Brian Cashman said on Saturday that the oft-injured outfielder, who is battling plantar fasciitis, is not running on flat ground and that he will not arrive to spring training until mid to late March. At the earliest he could be here is mid to late March, so we're probably looking at a start on the DL, Cashman told reporters. That doesn't mean we are looking at the IL to start yet, but just in terms of timing it could be. CC Sabathia is done after 2019. 0 hours 3 minutes and 21 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher CC Sabathia announces that 2019 will his final year on the mound and that he will retire after the season. It has been known for months now, but the Yankees had an official press conference where veteran LHP CC Sabathia announced that 2019 will be his final season in the MLB. This season will be Sabathia's 19th year in the MLB, and to have the great career he's been able to put together over that time, there are a lot of people to give thanks to. During his opening comments, he started with his mother. I just wanted to make this announcement that 2019 will be my final season, Sabathia began. I want to obviously thank a lot of people. I wouldn't be here today, 18 years in the big leagues, without so many different people. But I want to start with my mom. She couldn't be here today, but her sacrificing so much for me as a kid to be able to get to this point to live out my dream. Luis Severino talks new contract. 0 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher Luis Severino makes his first comments since signing a new 4-year, $40 million contract. When the deadline passed for players to avoid arbitration, the Yankees had just one player who didn't settle on a deal for the season in RHP Luis Severino, so, before Severino could get to work down in Tampa at the Yankees spring training facility, he had to go through his arbitration hearing to hopefully hammer out a deal fast to avoid wasting any time. Well, he got a long-term extension instead. The Yankees and Severino agreed to a 4-year extension worth $40 million that comes with a 5th-year club option worth $15 million. New York locked up Severino through his 20s in hopes that he becomes the consistent ace they believe him to be. Judge, Sanchez arbitration. 0 hours 1 minute and 7 seconds. New York Yankees Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge are up for arbitration in 2020. Will the Yankees be able to sign them to team-friendly deals? Anthony McCarron, SNY.TV, Twitter. Luis Severino got paid life-changing money and didn't have to endure the potential hurt feelings that the nitpicking of an arbitration hearing can sometimes make bloom. The Yankees grabbed cost certainty on an ace-level arm, and the rest of us scored some juicy topics to kick around when the Yanks and Severino came to an agreement Friday on a contract extension for the righty. Especially this Severino's deal signal that the Yanks are ready to talk pre-free agency deals with the rest of their young studs. In other words, on deck, Aaron Judge, Aaron Boone talks pitching 0 hours 0 minutes and 36 seconds. In part of an upcoming interview with Aaron Boone, Andy Martino asked whether the Yankees would use an opener in games. Yankees manager Aaron Boone sat down with SNY's Andy Martino at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa to discuss the upcoming season. The second-year manager touched on a variety of subjects, including why he feels confident in this year's roster as well as whether or not he would consider using an opener. With his deep bullpen this season, be sure to check out the full interview with Boone on BNNY at 6 p.m. on SNY. Click below for another clip from interview. Danny Farquhar talks comeback 0 hours 0 minutes and 51 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher Danny Farquhar talks his comeback to baseball after suffering a brain hemorrhage last season. It was less than a year ago on April 20th, when RHP Danny Farquhar suffered a life-threatening brain hemorrhage as a result of a ruptured brain aneurysm, causing him to collapse in the White Sox's dugout. He was immediately taken to a hospital, where he remained for 17 days before he was discharged with the knowledge that he eventually would be able to pitch again, though not in the 2018 season. Fast forward to Friday, when Farquhar threw his first bullpen session with the Yankees, who signed Farquhar to a minor league deal less than a month ago. His bullpen received much fanfare, and even though it was just a spring training bullpen session, the moment wasn't lost on Farquhar. "Just to think 10 months ago that I would be here, you don't know," Farquhar said. "I am extraordinarily thankful." May 11, 2018, Bronx, NY, USA. New York Yankees starting pitcher Sonny Gray, 55, reacts on his way to the dugout after giving up a run in the third inning against the Oakland Athletics at Yankee Stadium. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray. USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. Whether one believes this is Jordan Montgomery being critical of the Yankees for trading Sonny Gray depends on one's interpretation. But at the very least, Montgomery believes the Reds did a great piece of business in acquiring Gray last month and signing him to a 3-year, $30.5 million contract extension. "Cincinnati got a steal," Montgomery told NJ.com on Thursday. Yankees GM Brian Cashman was very public about his intent to move Gray, and he finally did on Jan. 21 in what was essentially a three-way trade. The Yankees received a 2019 competitive balance round A draft pick and 2B shed Long from Cincinnati. The Yanks then sent Long to Seattle for of Josh Stowers. The Reds received Gray and LHP Reaver San Martin. Behind the scenes in Tampa. 0 hours 0 minutes and 37 seconds. A quick behind-the-scenes tour of the Yankees facility in Tampa. Yankees pitchers and catchers reported this week in Tampa for spring training. Take a quick peek behind the scenes as SNY is on hand for all the spring training coverage at George M. Steinbrenner Field. With spring training upon us, MLB Network released its top 20 players right now, and a couple Yankees made the cut. Aaron Judge came in at No. 12 on the list, while fellow outfielder and baseball masher Giancarlo Stanton was placed at No. 19. Judge has only 2 full seasons in the bigs under his belt, but he has already made his mark as one of the game's best young stars. He didn't have the same year in 2018 as he did in his Rookie of the Year campaign in 2017, where he hammered 52 homers, with 114 RBI and a .284 batting average. New York Yankees starting pitcher Luis Severino works out as pitchers and catchers report for spring training at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Luis Severino and the Yankees agreed to a 4-year, $40 million contract extension to avoid arbitration and cover his remaining years of team control, the team announced on Friday. SNY.TV, as Andy Martino confirmed the details of the contract, which includes a 5th-year option. Severino will receive a $2 million signing bonus and earn $4 million in salary in 2019. He will make $10 million in 2020, $10.25 million in 2021 and $11 million in 2022. He also has a $15 million club option that covers his first year of free agency in 2023. The Yankees could buy that out for $2.75 million, which is included in the guaranteed money, meaning Severino's contract could max out at $52.25 million. New York Yankees second baseman Gleyber Torres throws to first base against the Kansas City Royals during the first inning at Yankee Stadium. Adam Hunger, USA Today Sports, Chris Carelli, SNY, TV, Facebook, Twitter, About Me, Archives. The Yankees are comfortable shifting Gleyber Torres to shortstop if immediate plans do not pan out in 2019. But the Yanks should reconsider the move, one that feels almost certain to be required, as a last resort, not the first response. Torres enters his sophomore season in the big leagues needing a clearer focus with increased expectations. Despite a very good overall rookie campaign, he did show that he's still a young man learning the game. New York Yankees starting pitcher James Paxton throws as pitchers and catchers report for spring training at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. James Paxton threw a career-high 160 1/3 innings with the Mariners last season, 24 1/3 innings more than his previous high the year before. Now that he's with the Yankees, Paxton has a loftier goal. "My goal is to get to the 200-inning range," Paxton said, according to the New York Post's Joel Sherman. "I understand the bullpenning and leverage, but I wonder if those relievers who are being pushed to constant 2- and 3-inning stints will run out of gas. I think it is still up to starters to provide innings." Sanchez eyeing March 1st return. 0 hours 1 minute and 27 seconds. New York Yankees catcher Gary Sanchez has been recovering from shoulder surgery. Manager Aaron Boone said he expects him back by March 1st. Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa, Florida. A few minutes after 1 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, a contingent of Yankee bigwigs gathered behind the cage to watch Gary Sanchez's first batting practice of spring training. As they stood there in the sun, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, and assistant GM Tim Naehring shared a common thought: despite Sanchez's terrible season in 2018, the Yankees still truly believe he will be their catcher of the future, and an all-star caliber hitter for many years. Spring is a time for easy platitudes and flattery, but this one is different. The Yankees really do still think highly of Sanchez. How will Yankees employ bullpen? 0 hours 1 minute and 11 seconds. New York Yankees have built a super bullpen through free agency, but how can they capitalize on it? Sweeney Morty and Andy Martino discuss. Last season, the Yankees had one of the most productive bullpens in the MLB. But GM Brian Cashman bulked up his relievers even more this offseason, which begs the question, how will manager Aaron Boone utilize this unit in 2019? With names like Aroldis Chapman, Dellin Betances, Chad Green, Zach Britton, and Adam Ottavino, Boone will have a variety of options each and every game. In fact, this squad could get the Yankees through a game if need be. SNY's Andy Martino and Sweeney Morty discuss how they think Boone will use his bullpen this season, and whether or not a bullpen game is in the cards. Adam Ottavino excited to join NY. 0 hours 1 minute and 25 seconds. Adam Ottavino is excited to join the Yankees, a team he was a fan of growing up. He's learned some lessons from his Babe Ruth comments. Adam Ottavino went to high school in Brooklyn but went to college in Boston. Now that he's one of the newest Yankees relievers, he's proud to be directly involved in one of the biggest rivalries in sports. Upon signing a 3-year, $27 million deal with New York this offseason, the newest Yankees reliever is glad to be part of the team he rooted for as a kid. "It's cool, it's a thrill," Ottavino said. "It's a team I grew up watching and rooting for, and it's just a great opportunity for me." Toronto Blue Jays shortstop Troy Tulowitzki throws during spring training workouts at Bobby Matic Training Center. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. The Yankees signed Troy Tulowitzki on a 1-year minimum deal this offseason once the Toronto Blue Jays released him, and manager Aaron Boone believes the 34-year-old shortstop can recover from double heel surgery to make a significant impact with New York. "We feel like he's in a good place, and over some of the injuries that really plagued him over the last year and a half, 2 years," Boone said during Wednesday's press conference. "We'll try to be vigilant as far as how his schedule goes and obviously communicating with him. We'll develop a plan that kind of evolves a little bit." John Harper, SNY.TV, Twitter, "Much is still to be determined, but if DJ LeMahieu winds up being a glorified utility infielder in the Bronx, which seems to be a distinct possibility, then wouldn't it be fair to suggest the Yankees, with the questions surrounding CC Sabathia, may have been better off spending that money on, say, Gio Gonzalez? Or better yet, Wade Miley? It's too late in the case of Miley, who signed the bargain deal of the winter with the Astros, 1 year, $4.5 million, apparently because nobody believes the story that he reinvented himself with a cutter, despite his 2.57 ERA over 18 starts with the Brewers last season. Best of Aaron Boone. 0 hours 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Aaron Boone addressed the media for the first time at spring training. He talked about expectations and details about Gary Sanchez. Yankees manager Aaron Boone spoke with reporters on Wednesday as pitchers and catchers officially reported for the start of spring training. Boone addressed a number of topics, but here are some key takeaways from his press conference. Gary A. Vasquez, after a 100-win regular season, the Yankees had World Series aspirations on their minds entering the postseason. However, they fell short in the ALDS to the Red Sox, their most hated rival that hoisted the World Series trophy at the end of the year. This year, though, Vegas believes the roles will be reversed. BetOnline gave the Yankees the best odds to win the World Series at 6/1, with the Red Sox behind them at 7/1. These two AL East powerhouses are stacked up virtually even as the season begins, but BetOnline could have the Yankees' bullpen being a deciding factor once the postseason rolls around. Sabathia to announce last season. 0 hours 0 minutes and 32 seconds. SNY/MLB insider Andy Martino has told New York Yankees pitcher CC Sabathia will announce on Saturday that 2019 will be his farewell tour. Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa, Florida. The Yankees are preparing for a news conference on Saturday at George M. Steinbrenner Field to announce that CC Sabathia will retire after the season, as SNY was first to report. Sabathia's family is expected to attend, and the pitcher will have the chance to recap his career, while looking ahead to one more run at a championship. That is sure to be a well-deserved, feel-good day for the longtime Yankee and one-time ace. But the team enters spring training with reminders that relying on late-career Sabathia as part of the starting rotation comes with heavy risk. Jacoby Ellsbury, 22, mandatory credit. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Kim Clement, the curious case of Jacoby Ellsbury took another turn on Wednesday. Yankees manager Aaron Boone revealed at his spring training opening press conference that the oft-injured outfielder will not be with the team at the onset of camp. Boone said Ellsbury is battling issues with his plantar fascia as he recovers from the hip surgery he underwent late last season and has not begun baseball activities. Severino optimistic about 2019. 0 hours 1 minute and 47 seconds. Luis Severino addressed the media, talking about learning from a disappointing 2018, changing his diet and how good the Yankees can be. The Yankees have had extension talks with Luis Severino, reported FanCred's John Heyman on Wednesday, adding that it isn't known whether the two sides are close to a deal. Severino is scheduled to have an arbitration hearing before the season to determine his salary for 2019, and any extension would likely cover this season and the remainder of his arbitration years, in 2020, 2021, and 2022. The 24-year-old Severino struggled badly in the second half of 2018 after a dominant first half, winding up with a 3.39 ERA and 1.14 WHIP in 191.1 innings, 32 starts. Early sights from Tampa. 0 hours 1 minute and 51 seconds. Yankees players arrive at spring training in Tampa We see a glimpse of Aaron Boone and we catch Masahiro Tanaka throwing with Luis Severino. Things are starting to ramp up at spring training, where lots of the Yankees, along with manager Aaron Boone, have reported as the squad hits Tampa to prepare for the 2019 season. August 30, 2018, Bronx, NY, USA. New York Yankees first baseman Luke Voit, 45, hits a two-run home run in the 7th inning against the Detroit Tigers at Yankee Stadium. Mandatory credit, Wendell Cruz. USA Today Sports, Wendell Cruz, Chris Carelli, SNY, TV, Facebook, Twitter, About Me. Archives. Platoons don't always work, but the Yankees could benefit nicely from a loose timeshare at first base this season. As Luke Voit seeks to cement his place at the top of the first base depth chart for the Yankees, Greg Bird lurks as a potential threat to recapture the job. Regardless of which way this competition pans out in spring training, the Yankees need both players to find and maintain consistent production. New York Yankees outfielder Esteban Florial during the Arizona Fall League All-Star Game at Surprise Stadium. Mark J. Rebels. USA Today Sports. The Yankees may be lacking a blue-chip prospect in their farm system. Fangraphs released its rankings of the top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball and no Yankees made the list, which was based on available data, industry sources and their own observations. Outfielder Esteban Florial just missed the top 100, ranking in at 106 on an extended list. October 2, 2018, Bronx, NY, USA. New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone speaks at a press conference during workouts one day before the 2018 American League wildcard playoff baseball game at Yankee Stadium. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskaran /NorthJersey.com via USA Today Sports. Danielle Parhiskaran. On Wednesday, Yankees pitchers and catchers will officially report to the team's Tampa complex to kick off the 2019 season. And manager Aaron Boone will also hold his first official press conference of the year. The Yankees enter spring training with virtually the same clubhouse as last season, but with a few new faces like Adam Ottavino, Troy Tulowitzki, and James Paxton. GM Brian Cashman made the necessary moves to bolster a roster that hopes to win more than their 100-game mark last year, and hopefully knock down the Red Sox and capture a World Series title for the first time since 2009. Those are some lofty expectations, but that was the same goal in mind for Boone and the rest of the team exactly 1 year ago. So, with that in mind, here are some questions Boone will likely face from the media when he steps in front of the mic. July 17, 2018, Washington, D.C., USA. American League infielder Manny Machado of the Baltimore Orioles, 13, walks to the dugout before the 2018 MLB All-Star Game at Nationals Ballpark. Mandatory credit, Jeff Burke. USA Today Sports. Jeff Burke. As is custom for many players, getting brand new gear for the season ahead is a priority. Every player wants fresh gloves, bats, batting gloves, and whatever else they can get their hands on to play at their best, and look good in the process with the usual team colors and the accessories. And for Manny Machado, his new gear may be pointing to the team he is deciding to play for in 2019. The glove company, Rawlings, released Machado's new leather on their Twitter account, and the colorway is interesting to say the least. June 23, 2018, St. Petersburg, FL, USA. New York Yankees first baseman Greg Bird, 33, looks on from the dugout at Tropicana Field. Mandatory credit, Kim Clement. USA Today Sports. Kim Clement. Greg Bird was considered for several years to be the Yankees' first baseman of the future, a left-handed hitter who would occupy a spot in the middle of the Bombers' lineup long-term. Injuries and struggles at the plate have thrown off Bird's trajectory, and now at 26 years old he enters spring training without a starting job in his grasp as the first base gig is 2018 revelation Luke Voit's to lose. "I love challenges," Bird told reporters Tuesday in Tampa. Voit obviously came up and was a huge part of our success, so that's awesome. I like challenges. It'll be a fun spring for sure. Not likely. Machado. A Yankee 0 hours 0